When we talk about the inner child, it is not just one single image. Throughout your life, you have gone through many stages, and each stage left behind a different child. It might be you at age 5 believing the world was beautiful, you at age 9 being misunderstood and not trusted, you at age 13 standing in front of a mirror wondering if you were beautiful enough, you at age 17 loving for the first time and breaking for the first time. All of these children are still living inside you, each carrying a memory, a fear, an unfinished dream. And when you learn to love them, you learn to love your whole self. True love does not begin when you become perfect. It begins when you look at the imperfect parts and still choose to love. This is what your inner children need most. To be loved even when they are not perfect. They have lived too long under judgment and the fear of rejection. But you, the adult version of today, can become their first safe place. This is the moment you learn that no one else can give you the safety you have denied yourself for so long. Imagine you are sitting in a softly lit room. In front of you are small versions of yourself, one hugging a pillow and crying, one angry, one silent and withdrawn in a corner, another laughing with innocence and curiosity. Walk toward each one, look closely and say, "I see you." Let your tears fall if they come, because every time you say that, you give them the greatest gift, recognition. From that moment on, they are no longer alone. Sometimes being seen is more important than being healed. Loving the inner children is not denying what happened, but acknowledging that they deserve love no matter what happened. Maybe you made mistakes, hurt someone, chose wrong, or failed, but if you look deeper, you will see that at that time, you were only a child trying to survive with the little you had. When you learn to see yourself with compassion, you also learn to see others the same way. Love begins there. When you understand your inner child, you also understand why you once lived the way you did. Sometimes loving the inner children also means stopping the effort to change them. They do not need you to make them stop being afraid, stop being sad, or stop being angry. They only need you to allow them to feel what they feel. When the child is afraid, say, "It is okay to be afraid. I am not leaving you." When it is sad, say, "Cry if you need to. I am here." When it is angry, say, "I understand," because no one listened to you before. This acceptance is the door to freedom. Emotions do not need to be fixed. They only need to be held. For so many years, you were taught to be strong, to move on, to forget. But the truth is, you cannot love what you tried to reject. True love is not defeating pain, but sitting beside it and saying, "We will go through this together." When you can do that, you not only love the child within you, you become the mother of your own soul. This is the moment you truly grow up, when you know how to hold yourself. Think about this. If your inner child could speak, what would it say? Perhaps it would say, "I just want a hug. I want someone to tell me I am not wrong. I want someone to stay." Then become that person. No one else can do it better than you. No one understands your pain more than you. No one can love you properly if you do not yet know how to love yourself. You are not lacking love. You are lacking someone who once taught you how to love yourself. And then, when you start loving the inner children, you will find yourself becoming softer. You no longer need to prove anything. No longer need to pretend to be fine. No longer need to hide your tears. You allow yourself to be real, sometimes weak, sometimes messy, sometimes not ready. And within all of that, you feel peace because you know you are loved from the inside out. Softness does not make you weak. It returns to you the heart you once lost. Loving the inner children is also learning to live slowly. Allow yourself to enjoy small things, the smell of rain, the sound of wind, the feeling of laughing alone. Play a little, doodle, dance, write a few lines that do not need to make sense. Whenever you do something simply because it brings you joy, you are telling the child, you are free now. You are rewriting your childhood, not with memory, but with presence. You cannot change the past, but you can give that child a new childhood today. Sometimes loving the inner children means learning to set boundaries. Maybe you were taught that you had to endure to be loved, but now you can say no without guilt. You can leave places that hurt you, You can choose peace instead of pleasing others. Every time you protect yourself, you protect that child from further pain. And slowly, the child will trust you. It will feel safe in your arms, a place it never had before. Boundaries are not walls, they are love for yourself. Loving the inner children also means accepting your older versions, even the parts you were ashamed of. Maybe you were once weak, selfish, afraid, or reactive, but if you look deeper, you will see that all of these were the survival reactions of a child who never learned to love. When you embrace those parts, you do not just love yourself, you free yourself from the cycle of shame and self-blame. You no longer say, "I wish I were different," but "Thank you for doing your best with what you had." Self-forgiveness is a gift you give to your soul. When you truly love the inner children, something magical happens. You begin to forgive your parents, not because they were right, but because you recognize that they also carry within them wounded children who have never been loved. They acted from fear, from lack, from what they were taught. When you see them as children, anger melts and compassion grows. Forgiveness is no longer a duty, but a natural result of understanding. Forgiveness does not erase the past, it frees you from reliving it. And then, as love expands from within, the outside world also shifts. Relationships become more genuine. You attract those who treat you with the same gentleness you give yourself. You stop seeking others to fill the emptiness because you have become the home you always needed. When you love your inner children, you do not just heal the past, you create a new future. When you become your own home, you no longer fear abandonment. Try practicing this every day. Each morning, look into your eyes in the mirror and say, "Today I choose to love myself." When you are tired, say, "You can rest now." When you are disappointed, say, "It is okay. You are still enough." When you accomplish something, say, "Well done, my love." These simple sentences are seeds of love, planted into your soul. Gradually, they grow into the peaceful garden you have longed for. You become the one who nourishes your spirit, no longer waiting for anyone else. Because in the end, loving the inner children is not a temporary act. It is a way of living in which you no longer divide yourself into past and present. You no longer choose between strong and weak. You no longer look for someone to prove your worth. You simply live, whole, full, and free. When you stop trying to become someone else, you become yourself. When you love the inner children, you give yourself the greatest gift: peace. No more running, no more searching, no more feeling lost, only presence. In your breath, in your smile, in the gentle morning light, you realize you are the home that child always dreamed of. And now, finally, the child is home. If you are hearing these words, know that you have come a long way. The healing journey is not easy, but you chose to start. Place your hand on your heart and say, "I love all versions of myself," because each version helped bring you here, to where peace begins. And from today, live with gratitude, with softness, and with a love big enough to hold all the children within you, because they are you. Before you go, take a moment to breathe and gently ask yourself, which of the children within me spoke the loudest today? If something in this journey touched you, if even one of your inner children whispered back while you were listening, I invite you to pause for a moment and write a few gentle words in the comments, not for anyone else, but as a small gift to the child inside you, a way of saying, "I see you." And if this has been helpful to you, please like and share this video so we can continue to accompany you on your healing journey to find true peace and reach your complete happiness. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing gentleness today. And thank you for giving a little more love to the children within you.